see one of our players is ready if we run through who they are for you. So RSR Serene Logic is Nigel Cross. Then we've got DNC Scuzzer is Ray Cobbing. RNTZ is Renaud Lovett. And 221 is Daniel Johansson. Apologies if any of the pronunciations are bang on the money. Feel free to let us know on social media. And if you make it through to the final, I promise to get it right there. Okay. Unless you're Timazyanov, in which case it'll take me 3/4 of a season to get it right. But let's not talk
Shocking.
let's not talk about 2013. So on the inside, Nigel Cross, then it's Ray Cobbing, Renaud Lovett and Daniel Johansson. We are behind Nigel Cross on the line. Ready to race, light comes on. Wait for that green and look for the reactions. And it's a good start for Nigel on the inside. Very good indeed. In front of everyone, sideways behind, bit of contact. 3 cars at the barrier. Nigel Cross clearly out in front. Little nudge in the background there for DNC Scuzzer, trying desperately. That's Ray Cobbing. So Ray from P2 on the grid, dropping down to P4. And that was a disaster. And his start wasn't that different, Katie.
I know, I was just looking at that. There was nothing he could have done in that situation. He was completely sandwiched. And you know, that's one of the other things about these Armcos. There's no space to use the grass on the outside or the curbs. You know, you are literally stuck on the track, and it's just in those situations, it's down to the other players and how quickly you can get around them.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it, as well? Not what he wanted. Where was Racer? 3:37, yeah, and the time wasn't great from the qualifying race earlier on, so got to try and fight back, and has done so by going joker immediately.
It's brutal in Rallycross, isn't it? You know, you've got 6 laps and that's it. You haven't got a rally to work it back.
No.
You know, every little move you make is going to be detrimental to a final result.
I think that's what's interesting when you look at the course of a weekend in Rallycross. You know, 4 qualifying, so you've got 3 practice. You don't even get much of that. If you're trying to dial settings in, you're looking at 8 to 12 laps. 4 qualifying races, which have all got to go well to stand a chance of making the top 12. If one of them doesn't go well, you won't be up the front of the semi-finals. I think sometimes it's hard to describe to people at home how crucial it is that every stage of the weekend goes well. And it's really tiring. Like a rally, you know, stage is also tiring because the adrenaline goes up and down.
Yeah, it's very difficult managing your energy levels during a weekend as well. You know, they're long events for these drivers. They're in the car, they've got that adrenaline spike, then they're out of the car. We can see two of our drivers here have already played their joker lap now.
Yeah.
So
Daniel Johansson's gone in as well and is sitting in P2. So good move by Daniel Johansson, but he's 2.2 back. Who's gone into the... okay, so I think that's Nigel Cross has gone into the joker lap as well.
No, P1 as well, yeah. No.
Yeah, so it's super close between them. So actually, yeah. So Nigel has responded there by going into the joker lap and has come out in front. I think that was the right decision because if you look, the gap has just come down from 1.1 to 0.9. And this is what we see in World RX so often is if one of the top drivers goes in, the other one responds immediately because you don't want to give them a bigger window of laps to close the gap down.
No, exactly. And I mean, he's got an advantage now. He's at the front. He's got 2 laps to go. He can monitor that. You know, if someone goes for the overtake, he can play that game and he can close that gap. The ball is in his court now. All he needs to do in these damp conditions is stay on that line, keep a tidy race with this Rallycross 2 car and make sure that he gets to the end and wins this race.
Yeah, keep the door shut basically. At the minute, as say, the gap is down to 0.8, so he's a 1/10 of a second quicker. He won't be looking back, very little, might get the odd flash in the mirrors in game, but I imagine he's going to, but he might well be taking a glance as well, of course, at the gap's top right of the screen, but to be honest with you, the way these guys are pushing on, I don't think they have time for much of that.
The point of view as well, it doesn't give much away apart from the road ahead, does it? He hasn't got this spectator view that we're looking at. Just out the front of their cars, this is what they're seeing today in this race.
Up towards turn 1 again on the brakes, trying to close that gap down. Daniel Johansson chasing Nigel Cross. What's the gap up to? 1.1, so Nigel's managed to get the gap back up by 0.2 of a second. Just a little bit more comfortable.
Renaud's going to have to play his joker lap.
Yeah, he is indeed, so that is, Renaud Lovett.
So do you think that's going to change our podium today, or is it?
No, I think it depends how far back DNC Scuzzer is behind him. No, he'll hold on to P3, but it's not going to be enough to get him through to the semis, I think. Out front, Nigel Cross is going to go straight through. In P2, Daniel Johansson is going to have to wait and see whether or not he gets one of the fastest times.